What's going on, my dudes? Chensley11 here, and welcome back to another episode in the A to Z series. In this episode, we are going to be showing you how to play Kennen top for beginners. So I hope you enjoy the video. Kennen's a fun champion. I really enjoy him myself. And if you are new to the series, we are going through every single champion in League of Legends and giving you a basic overview of the champion, or a basic guide, beginner's guide, where we go through the runes, the build at the current point, and most importantly, the abilities, which is what we're here to learn. And also some tips and tricks along the way as well. So I hope you enjoy. And if you do enjoy, hit the like button. It helps out the channel a lot. So, Kennen. Now, Kennen is a top laner, obviously. We're playing him top. He can also go mid. You can argue he could probably play ADC, although his ability power centric. So he'd be like an APC in the bot lane. But to play it safe, I'd go top. He is a massive team fighting champion. He can obviously 1v1 champions fairly well. Just that his ultimate, in combination with his W, is absolutely busted, guys. Insane. So if you're a new player, there tends to be a lot more team fighting. So Kennen is a pretty good shout. He is ranged as well, which can help in the top lane if you're new to top lane. So you kind of can punish melee tanks. But if not, he's just a fun champion to play. And I hope you enjoy. So as always, we're going to go through a quick rundown of the abilities, just so if you've never seen Kennen before, we can go through what his abilities do, and then we're going to go into his details in way more detail. So the Q is like a Shuriken that you throw out in a line direction, does damage when it hits. W is a AoE electrocute that happens around you if targets are marked, and you see the little mark on that minion now. We'll go through this in more detail later. E turns you into a little bit of an electrical ball, and then you can go through. You have increased movement speed. You can't be targeted, and you can deal damage AoE around you, and you also get increased attack speed when you come out. And ultimate is a massive AoE thunderstorm. So I hope you enjoy watching these nutty ults later on in the game, because they are extremely fun to pull off with Flash and your Proto Belt, which is the first major item you rush. So that being said, obviously we're going to go through the abilities in way more detail later on. Gangplank in this game. Now this game is a little bit weird. We have, first of all, this start from the Gangplank, not sure what he's doing. Second of all, a little bit of a rage support. Leaves his ADC early and starts being weird. So the game looks bad, but I'll show you that if you keep farming up and get fed yourself, you can carry the game just on your own back. So it's a pretty good example of that. And as I say always, the gameplay isn't that important. It's more about going through the runes and the abilities and whatnot. So that being said, we're going to start off with the runes. So there are different runes you can go, but my favorite person is actually Summonary. It is the most popular as well. So Summonary, Nimbus Cloak, Transcendence, Gathering Storm, and then you want to go Domination Secondary with Taste of Blood, Ravenous Hunter, and then you want to go Attack Speed, Adaptive Force, and Armor. Now you also change the armor to MR if their team is heavy MR. Normally I'd change it if the enemy top lane is a magic dealing champion along with their jungler. So if this was like a Mordekaiser, I'd probably switch to the MR runes because they have an Echo jungle as well. So we're just roaming onto the Echo with my jungler. He gets with a flash. No, not quite. So then the Malphite shows up. So it's always good to help your jungle out. Just when you have the early push against the GP, he's not going to be able to outpush you early. You can always do that and then help your jungler. Unfortunately, he dies. The Orianna, so we flash onto the Echo, miss our Q, which is terrible. But the Orianna is coming and cleaning up. We can use our E to get that AoE and the movement speed to escape. And we're going to get out of there if we can. I think the Malphite ends up getting us. But the Kiana gets another kill, so double kill for her. So all in all, I think it was a 2 for 2, so not the best, considering GP scale is pretty hard. But that's okay. I'm not sure who got the kills on their team, to be honest. Anyway, back to lane. That's why you take TP, just in case some shenanigan happens, you can get back to lane early. You can also go Ignite. I just prefer TP because I like the split push style. Although Kennen is a team fighting champion, so Ignite wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because you want to be grouping sometimes. But I just like to split and then join team fights late and clean up with my ultimate rather than be there at the start, as you'll see throughout the video. So they're the runes. Nothing too special. They'll just allow you to keep poking, especially with the Summonary, because if you hit your Q, it'll proc. As you can see, a great example of hitting the Q there. Lol jokes. So yeah, now let's quickly mention the like the skill order that you're going to start, that you're level up order and your starting abilities. just making sure to stay away from GP's barrels. So he's just out of position. We out level him. So now we use our E to get the movement speed. We stun him with our W, which we'll go through in a moment with the passive. And we're just looking to heavy trade on him because we had a min advantage. We got a level advantage because we TP'd, right? That's why TP is so important. And it's just over for him. He just watered the ground to make sure he could see himself die. And we get a kill. So the level up order. So you want to start your Q, then you want to go W second, E level 3, then you want to max your Q, then you want to max your W, and then finally you want to max your E. And obviously, and even more so importantly on Kennen, take a point in your ultimate whenever you can because it's such a fantastic ability. And we are level 6 right now. I think, I can't remember if I was level 6 for that fight, but it didn't really matter in the end. We were able to demolish him without it. And Mr. Kennen for all those people that love seeing me miss cannons and some more minions I've missed. So not the best CS to start. So we're going to move on to the items. So starting items. Now, despite Kennen being an AP champion, I highly recommend going Doran's Blade because you actually do a lot of auto attacking. Not only is the auto attacking and it helps with CSing and also does more damage, it also gives you a bit of lifesteal. All those factors make it fantastic. And obviously, Doran's ring is irrelevant because you don't have mana. So Doran's Blade is the best way to go. Then you want to take a health pot. If you're back early, you can get a refillable like I have in this game. I really like refillable pots, especially if I want to stay in the lane long because it allows you to just sustain, stay in the lane, build up a CS advantage. Here's the raging support there, so we just mute him. Highly recommend doing that if someone's triggering you. Just get rid of him. So again, just trying to farm up again. Obviously, he has the minion advantage to try and stay away from the barrels. I think we're going to get caught with this one. Nah, he's too slow. So we're just autoing, going into the bush. We use our E, we use our ultimate. So there's the ultimate example. He gets stunned. We get all the minions. We get another kill. So again, mistake from the enemy champion. There's no way you should fight me when he's a level down and I have level 6. The difference between level 5 and 6 is huge, obviously, because I have my ultimate and they don't. Not to say that GP's ultimate is fantastic in a 1v1, but it would have done something. Would have made the fight closer, plus the base stats you get. So, bit of a mistake. So, let's go back onto the build. So, what I normally do is I rush Sork Pen Boots, and then I'll go into Proto Belt, and then Zhonya's. So, 2 actives, which means if you're really new to the game, 2 active items might be a little bit challenging. But if you're pretty experienced, that's not too bad for yourself. Again, roaming, keep an eye on the minimap. As soon as we see the Echo showing, go help our jungler so we make sure he's doing okay. And then we get another kill on the Echo. Of course, putting him behind is fantastic. And then after the Zhonya's, you can go Void Staff or Death Cap, depending on the game. If they have no MR, go Death Cap. If they have a lot of MR, go Void Staff. You can also get Morellonomicon, depending if they have a lot of healing. So after those 2 base core items, it's very situational. So you need to think about what your enemies are and think about what you need to build to counter that. Okay, so if they had a lot of healing, you'd go Morellonomicon, or you could even go just the healing cut item, which is the Oblivion Orb, I believe. All right, so again, shove out. We're going to look to back, I believe. Maybe get a plate. As soon as I see another wave, I'm greedy. I'll say, let me get one more wave, and then we'll back. So in general, before we press on to the abilities, we'll quickly go through how I feel about Kennen in general. He's quite a simple champion to play, getting caught out on a gank. But listen, I'm 2 levels on this jungler. Although it's a 2v1, I have 2 levels on both of them, and 3 levels on the GP actually. So, and my ultimate is just coming on now, so we might be able to get out of this. Let's have a look. So we use our ultimate, we stun the GP. Unfortunately for us, the Echo gets out, and we die. So played that a little bit wrong. I could have flashed. Definitely should have warded. I hovered my ward there. If you're watching carefully, I hovered my ward to say I should have warded that bush, and I would have probably killed the Echo. And also, I probably should have warded the bush when I came back up through the river, because I would have seen the Echo earlier, path towards him, and maybe it wouldn't have been a bad situation. Again, this is the support in their jungle 2 levels down, being weird. So they are the build, and I think Kennen's quite a simple champion to play. There's nothing too extreme about his kit. As I said before, 2 active items, Zhonya's and Proto Belt. That can be a little bit challenging for a newer player, but once you get the hang of it, it's very, very simple. Just the way I do it is I always put my defensive active on 1 and then my offensive or attacking active on 2. So in this case, it'd be Zhonya's on 1, Proto Belt on 2. And that way, whenever I play a champion that builds Zhonya's, my muscle memory instinctively presses 1 on my keyboard, so because that's where I normally put my stopwatches and Zhonya's. So just a bit of a tip. Double kill for the ADC, which is fantastic. That'll just help you out with learning the mechanics. Okay, so this is another little combo here. You can E everything and then W to clear everything quickly. We just quite don't have enough. Gonna miss this cannon. We love missing cannons, guys. We just quite don't have enough AP to clear out the whole wave. So let's go through the abilities, guys, as we take a plate. Now, Kennen's passive is called Mark of the Storm. So this is a pretty easy to understand passive. So Kennen's abilities apply a stack of Mark of the Storm. So it's like a stacking passive that affects the enemies for 6 seconds. Upon the stacking up to 3 times, with the duration refreshing on applying another stack, right? So upon applying the 3rd stack, the target is stunned, okay? And it consumes a stack. And you get a restoration of 25 energy. So the way this works is there's little electricity balls around them. And once they're on 2, if the next ability you hit will stun them. Okay? Which is fantastic. Let's have a look here. I want to try and see if I can show an example. So that's what I mean. When you use your ultimate, it's proccing constantly. So you normally get a stun in, especially if you're using your W. So it's a fantastic passive because CC is great in this game, obviously. If you can CC your target, they can't really do much to you. So, yeah, upon applying 3 stacks of the passive, the stacks are consumed, stunning them for 5 seconds, you get a restoration. If the stun is applied to a target more than once within 6 seconds, the stun duration is 0.5. Okay, so you can't get that full duration stun more often than once every 6 seconds, if that makes sense. So if it happens twice within 6 seconds, the second one will be a shorter stun. That's basically it with the passive. Very, very simple. This is something that'll be happening in the background. You don't have to do anything. You just got to pay attention of when you're about to stun. It's almost like Annie, right? When you're about to hit that 3rd ability, pay attention because your next one will stun. All right. Again, we're just trying to siege this tower with the Nocturne. We got a nice... I can't quite see how much CS. If I click it in, 46 to 78. So, despite other lanes might not be going too well, we are absolutely stomping this top lane, right? So we can carry the game from here. We can see just how much damage our Q is doing, especially with Summon Area. Very poke. Look at that. Got him again. There's a very poke-centric setup, and that's why when you play Kennen, you should constantly use your Q. And I found when I play Kennen, I don't really ever run out of energy, to be honest. So you can be very, very liberal with your Q poke. Especially because look how cheap it is. It's only 40 energy to use. Okay, so I think we're going to go for a dive on the GP. Echo comes in. He's got 1 stack with the ball around him. We hit it with the E, then we W to stun. We got our ult coming off in 5 seconds. We have to flash. My ult was just about to come off. Unfortunately, it comes off just not quite enough CDR. We probably would have got him if we got another ult off. So, again, not the best example of how to demolish, but that's fine. 4, 3, and 4. A little bit upset with myself there. We do pick up the hourglass now, or the stopwatch, so that'll help out a lot in those sort of fights because you can use a very, very nice combo, which we'll go through in a moment when we get to our ultimate, which is the ultimate stopwatch or ultimate Zhonya's. So, as I was saying, use your Q quite liberally, and we're going to go through that now. The Q, the Thundering Shuriken. So, but very, very simple ability. And again, I'll throw the abilities up in the top left so you can have a look at what they do. Kennen throws a charged Shuriken in the target direction, dealing magic damage to the first enemy it hits. It doesn't go through enemies. The first thing it hits, it does damage to. Very, very simple ability. Not much else I can say. Use it very often. I use it in lane to farm, to poke. I use it in fights to stack up your passive. Use it off cooldown. It's a fantastic ability. It's Kennen's bread and butter. It's his first max. You need to get good at hitting those Qs. Okay, so there's a big team fight going on just below us. And there's a Rift Herald spawn. So I'm going to teleport in. Probably didn't need to. I wanted to get the flank. Because Kennen's really good at cleaning up fights. But unfortunately, our team kind of dies. So we kind of have to play this slow. The Cho'Gath goes in. So we're going to just go in with my E and then ultimate, I believe I'm going to do. Yeah, there's my ultimate going off. We pick up a double kill. And then we're going to go chase after the Echo. So there's that cleanup potential with Echo with Kennen. When champions are low, the absolute cleanup is insane. So we're going to land a Q on the Echo. And unfortunately, we just don't quite have enough. Oh, got him. No, he ultimate. Perfect. Good job on the Echo's part there to dodge my Q with his ultimate. So that's the Q, guys. Very, very simple. Next, we are going to go through Kennen's W. It's called Electrical Surge. Now, this has a passive component and an active component. Now, the passive is actually very important, so listen, pay attention. Basic attacks grant stacks of Electrical Surge, as on here, and they can stack up to 4 times. Well, hang on. Before we continue on with that, let's just have a look what happens. I think I'm just escaping here. Yes, we'll carry on. So, stacking up to 4 times. Now, at 4 stacks, Kennen's next auto attack consumes all the electrical stacks, does bonus magic damage, and applies a stack of the passive. So, now it's a little bit confusing because there's 2 stacks. After your 5th auto attack, your Shuriken is shining. So you can see right now, actually, see how it has a shining effect on it? That means that your next auto attack, or there's like electricity pulsing through it, will generate a burst of magic damage, and it will also create a stack of your passive. Now, that's passive. The passive I'm talking about is the one that stuns, okay? So, you can 5th auto attack someone, Q, and then W for a very, very quick burst of 3 procs, and then they'll be stunned, okay? I hope that makes sense. It's a little bit of a mouthful. So, every 5th auto attack, you get a bonus auto attack that does bonus damage, and it applies a stack of your passive. So, you can use that. That's why it's very important to also weave in lots of auto attacks when you play Kennen. So we dodge out the center, ultimately playing very, very dangerously. Lucky the Nocturne's on our team. We would have been absolutely murdered right now. So being greedy, want to clear out this wave before I back. We're probably going to miss this cannon, annoying me. No, we did get it. Fantastic. 104 CS at 60 minutes. Not the greatest, but it's not terrible. Definitely needs some work. So that's the passive part of the Electrical Surge. And it's one of the key reasons why we max it second. So the next part of the W is the active. So Kennen sends out a surge of electricity to all nearby enemies that are affected with his passive. So that have the mark of the storm. That's the original passive, right? So if they have a stack, you can apply your W. That's why you see me using my E onto the wave, where because every ability you hit on an enemy applies a stack. So you E through all the minions, they all get a stack, and then you W, because you can W any enemy within a certain range that has a stack. And that also will apply the second stack. Okay, so so many stacks and passives. Hope it's not too confusing for you guys. Thankfully, Kiana's going on absolute tear this game, and we just get absolutely clapped by the Malphite. We use our combo there, the ultimate Zhonya's, and it allows us to absolutely demolish the Malphite. We get him with a Proto Belt, and then we turn to get the GP. I wanted to get the Malphite because I was pissed off at him because he got a nice ult on me, and we're going to chase the GP into their jungle. I think we can get him, especially because Kennen has actually a fantastic amount of chase potential due to his... I think the blue buff slapped him for me there. He has a lot of chase potential due to his E, so it's fantastic. And I think I'm going to give up on this blue buff because he's slapping me too, and I see the enemies coming in. So that's the W. So very, very, very simple ability. Once, use it. You don't want to open up with this ability, obviously. You can't actually cast the ability. See, right now we can't cast the ability because there's no enemies nearby that have a stack. But see, let's see if I hit a Q on something, you'll see the W is available for use. But I see the Malphite going head first towards me, so I'm going to probably back out in this situation. But anyway, guys, that's the W. Very, very simple. The basic gist of how you would use your W is after you've used other abilities. That way you get the W instant proc of damage or the stun. And you can use it as a perfectly timed stun if the enemy has 2 stacks. That's how I normally use it. So I'll go in with my ultimate and then W, because the ultimate is constantly applying stacks, and then your W will apply that 3rd stack, stun them inside your ultimate so they take the full damage. Let's go through the E. So you can see, before we go through the E, let's just have a look what we're doing here. So, again, enemy team pushing through mid. I'm just trying to clear these minions. Use my ultimate as Zhonya's again. The Echo gets demolished. Unfortunately for us, he has ultimate, so he comes back onto us with his ultimate, does a lot of damage, restores all his health. We do have 3 levels on him, but really we're just trying to clear the wave so they can't push anymore and just wait for backup, because the Kiana is coming. The Nocturne goes in on the Echo. I think he gets the kill, and now the enemy team's backing up. Kiana's coming in now, so we can re-engage. Use our E to close the gap. We get the E on top of the Jinx, then we use our W to stun her, because she has 2 stacks of passive. Because I'll probably hit her with a Q or a bonus auto attack. And then the team comes back and we end up being okay there. We don't die, we don't lose anything. Now, his ultimate CDR is actually pretty short, Kennen, so it's not too bad to use it whenever it's up. And it's fantastic. Such a great ultimate. It's one of the best ultimates in the game, in my opinion. For team fighting, that is. So let's go through E, the Lightning Rush. So, as you saw throughout this game, Kennen transforms into a ball of electricity, becoming unable to declare basic attacks, but becoming ghosted. So you can't throw auto attacks, and you are ghosted, which means you can go through enemies with no blocking, so you can just walk straight through them. Just like that. You can see I'm walking straight through them. You gain bonus 100 movement speed, so fantastic, again, as I said before, for catching the gap. While transformed, Kennen's doing magic damage to all enemies he passes through, but this is halved to non-champions, so you do less damage to minions, so you can't just insta-clear waves. That would be fantastic if Riot allowed that. And he restores 40 energy if he damages at least one enemy. So you can get a lot of the cost back for the E if you use it to do damage. If you're using it just to chase, that's when it starts to cost a lot, because it's 100 each cast. As you can see there, we get most of it back. And then we're going to take out this tower. So, Kennen can recast it early to end the lightning storm, and then you gain bonus attack speed for 4 seconds. The attack speed's fantastic for trading, so you can E, get in, cancel it, and then just hammer people with auto attacks. Get them with passive stacks, hits the Q, proto belt, etc. Land the W. And that's pretty much it for the E. The E is your last max. It's a little bit more of a utility spell. I like to use it to close the gap before using my ultimate. And also I also like to use it to clear waves, because it's fantastic to E the whole wave and then W to instantly clear at least the back line. And last but not least, we're going to go through my favorite ability on Kennen, which is his ultimate, which is called Slicing Maelstrom. Said it wrong. It's a fantastic ability. You've seen me use it a few times. Again, I'll throw these up in the top left corner so you can see a good example of them. Kennen summons a Shuriken Storm, Magical Storm, around himself for 3 seconds, gaining bonus armor magic resist, striking bolts of electricity every 0.5 seconds. Each bolt does magic damage. Each hit of Maelstrom applies a stack of your passive. Slicing Maelstrom does increased 10% damage with each successive strike, up to 150%. So if you can lock people inside your ultimate, the damage increases. It gets even stronger and stronger and stronger. You get a little bit of tankiness when you're using your ultimate, which allows you to stay alive, so your ultimate can proc. See if I use my ultimate here. I probably don't need to in this point. I did use it. There you go. So he gets stunned. What I did there is a bit of a mistake, is I stunned and then I used my ultimate after. Obviously, it didn't matter in that case because GP is so far behind. But you saw there, once I used my ultimate, the stun only lasted 0.5 seconds, which means he got out of the ultimate really quickly. So if you're going to use your ult, use it before your first stun goes off. That way they get stunned for the full duration and they cop the whole ultimate. So that's it, guys. That's all the abilities. Fantastic champion, in my opinion. Very, very easy to play for new players. Highly recommend giving him a go. He's not very popular these days. I don't really see him that often, but I think he's pretty fun to play. I think his team fighting is insane. You can see what I'm doing in this game is just kind of cleaning up, which is what Kennen does fantastically well, which is clean up fights and then to get all the kills and whatnot, because everyone's low, everyone's running away from you. You get your ultimate off. You can see here I've opted to go to the blue trinket because I feel like I'm going to be splitting most of the time. Again, going for the flanking team fights rather than initiating. Kennen can initiate team fights quite well with his Proto Belt E Flash ultimate. Fortunately, the team takes the Baron, so this game isn't so straightforward. But I am very, very fed. So it's going to be up to me and Kiana pretty much, as we have the most gold to be able to pull this back. And obviously the other members of the team are going to have to play fantastic as well. But we have to do a lot of the heavy lifting because we have all the gold. Okay, so if you're going to take all the gold, you're going to be sure you're going to carry with it. So again, split pushing, making sure we're pushing in the side waves, getting our farm up, keeping our level high. Level's just as important as items. So keeping your level up by splitting is fantastic, especially as a top laner. And again, just pushing the whole wave. I think we're going to get this whole wave without missing one. I'm going to abandon the cannon. And we're just going to try and help out the Cho'Gath, but I don't need his help. You can see the ultimate going off with that stun Zhonya's. Fantastic Proto Belt for myself. We've butchered it, but it doesn't matter. Do we get the Echo? Oh, we just miss him. So a little bit, again, bit of a misplay. But you can see I'm not playing fantastically well. I'm just absolutely shredding these guys with Zhonyas and ultimates. So that Jinx didn't stand a chance there. So we use our E and then we use our W, but obviously it's only 2 stacks of our passive, so we die. And this Echo has actually been a bit of a pain in my ass this game. He's killed me a few times, so be sure to get him back later. So 10, 4, and 7. A pretty good game, but not perfect. And again, gameplay isn't the most important thing in this series. We're just trying to go through the champion. Anything else I wanted to say for Kennen? So yeah, we'll go through some combos that I use. You've seen me use them very often, and I've mentioned them as well. So I like to open up with my Q. If you hit the Q, you can go in with the W or the E. And if you can hit them with your E, that's fantastic. Then you can stun them with your W and ult at the same time almost. That way they're stunned and they're getting the full duration with your ult, and they should also get a second hit of your stun. But remember, it's only 0.5 seconds on the second stun. And then what else I want to say? So you can also use the Proto Belt to close the gap. I haven't been using the Proto Belt too often. Their team is quite immobile. They have a Senna. She can't really do much in terms of mobility. GP can't really move. The Echo is quite mobile, so the only time I'd be using it to close the gap would be against the Echo. And I want to get some revenge on the Echo, so we're going to... He's actually burst us pretty hard. The Jinx is also pretty immobile unless she gets resets on her passive. So I got chunked out pretty hard there in that fight. And then we're going to get out. We get a nice Q, fade away Q on the Echo, get the nice 700 gold. The GP tries to kill us. If he put that a bit further up, he would have killed us. But we get out. And we're just going to reset and buy because we have 3,000 gold and we're looking to buy our death cap, which is where you start to feel extremely, extremely strong because you have all that ability power. Scales fantastically well with the ultimate, which is the best part about Kennen. We do have TP. We're going to TP in, see if we can clean up this fight. But they're running, so it's probably not the best TP. We'll see what we can get on the back of this fight. We do want to pressure the dragon, though. That's the thing. So Jinx is running away. So if they all back out, we can get a free dragon. Their jungler is dead, and our jungler's alive. So me and the Xayah can clean this up real quick. And there is a Malphite pushing in the mid lane, so we can go clean him up after we get this dragon. So fantastic. Got to keep an eye on that center who's trying to come in. But she is going to get absolutely nuked. So I remember here, I'm just waiting for the Malphite to ult, so I'm hovering my flash key. I think he doesn't, though. He's just going to hit us with his Q. So he's gone full AP Malphite, which is a bit of a worry for Kennen, because Kennen's quite squishy. I'm going to have to Zhonya's or flash that instantly, otherwise I'll just die. And I do believe I do get caught out against it once. So we use a nice EWQ combo, clear with the Echo before he can even use his ultimate. And we need to make sure, because you see the Malphite posturing to use his ultimate against my team, so I just walk past him. I go into his back line. We kill the GP. I've got to be careful with the Jinx, because she's outputting an absolute shitload of damage. But my team's going to clean up the fight. Kiana's going to go in, get the kill. Nocturne's going to go in. He's quite low, though. He's going to have to be really quick. He gets the kill with the fear. Fantastic. And we're going to push this inhibitor and look to push our advantage. See, the problem here is we don't have any waves pushing, so his top is pushing towards us. And we don't really have enough resources to get anything else, so we're going to have to back off. We're going to take their jungle camps, and that's all you can really do in this situation. If there was a Baron or a Dragon up, you go take that. But if not, grab all their jungle camps, farm your jungle camps, push out your side waves, reset. You're stronger because you got all the gold from the fight. You got pressure mid, and you've denied them all their CS and XP from their jungle. So that's what you do in this situation. But yeah, guys. That's basically all I wanted to say when I'm playing Kennen. So for the rest of this video, we're just going to focus up on the actual game, just commentate a little bit on what's going on. I think Kennen, as I said before, is a great champion into tank, like melee tanks. I think he's a little bit scary into someone who's got a lot of gap closure you can get on top of you, because Kennen, although he's a little bit slippery with his E, he's very, very squishy. So he's almost like a ADC kind of champion. Here's when I get caught out. I remember this. Absolutely dunked by the Malphite. We use our ultimate, but it does not matter. Malphite absolutely slaps us there. So, you know, not the best game. But we will have a nice team fight at the end and win the game. Hopefully. Alright, so we're just having a look here. Kiana, again, using her lead to destroy the Echo. Echo's doing a great job, though. He ends up dying. The Zhonya's of the Echo was fantastic. So this Echo was probably their team's best player. But fortunately for us, our team followed up. We get the kill. Nocturne goes on, turns back around, and they get the kill despite the GP ult. Now, Baron has spawned. This is what I mean with the Cho'Gath standing in the GP ult. Just to show he's got big boy balls and can take all the damages. So now we're going to take a free Baron because we just wiped their whole team. So that pick was calculated. I made Malphite use his ultimate. That's what we'll say. It was perfectly planned. So worked out okay for the team. Okay, so now we're going to go back top and start splitting. Unfortunately, Kiana pinged out, please wait for me to respawn, but she was a bit slow on respawning. So she misses out on the Baron buff, but that's okay. We're going to split top, shove it all the way under. Now, when you have Baron, you can push waves really, really quickly, obviously, because your minions are doing a lot of damage as well, especially the cannon. So we're going to push this out, and we're going to look to create pressure on the top side of the map. So I like to have Baron to push at least 2 waves. That way we can get something for it. Now, it'd be nice if my team went bottom, because there's no point pushing mid unless you want to try and end, because there's nothing to get mid, right? Unless you get to the Nexus, right? There's no tower or inhibitor. So if they draw pressure elsewhere, I can get stuff top, and we get win-win. We take stuff everywhere. So you can see how much damage I'm doing to the tower. I'm just trying to bait the center forward, let her think she can kill me, and then I end up just demolishing the tower and then chasing her. We get the tower, all that local gold to me, fantastic, 550. The whole team is coming for me, so we're going to have to back out. So we're going to use our E to close the gap. But you can see now, because of all the players we've drawn, and this is why I love split pushing. 3 or 4 champions came here. Look what's going on bot lane. Our whole team can get that free tower. So we not only took the tower top, we can get the tower bottom. Another 50 gold in my pocket. Check the bush with my E. And now they're caught in 2 minds. Do we stop the cannon push, or do we stop these guys? They're on our base, so they have to choose. And now before the Kiana died, they were even in numbers, right, or outnumbered. So now they've won the fight. So I have to try and get this tower as quickly as possible and get out, because they're definitely coming towards me. But we're going to try and get on the center, but that'd be a bad idea because we know that they're coming for us. So I have to use my Zhonya's. Lucky the Cho'Gaths come. I use my ultimate. I try and close the gap. We get a kill with our ultimate, and that's actually great. The Cho'Gath stuck around there instead of just leaving. We end up getting a kill. Zhonya's being critical. So Zhonya's was actually such a great item. Perfect example of how important Zhonya's is this game. So now we have 2 inhibitors. Now we can look to end when we have a full team, because with 2 inhibitors down, it's really hard for the enemies to hold these towers, especially with Baron buff. You just saw that tower got melted and no one was hitting it. So we got 1 tower down. We could also back out, get the dragon, or split push bottom to press that 3rd tower down. But we're going to go grab the dragon. Just in case if we lose a team fight, they can't get a nice snowball off that by getting the dragon and some other stuff. So we're just going to have a look here, sit in this bush. If the Echo comes towards us, we can go on him. We go onto the Echo with our E, we use our W, we stun him. We protobelt into the wall, smack our face up against the wall. The protobelt, this is not a fantastic example to use it. Should have used it to initiate and then E'd. That way to get some damage down and then initiate. So you can see we're getting most of our health back. We're starting to heal up. We have to be careful. Shove it in. Our team gets a dragon. Now, as I said, we rotate bottom and we look to get that last tower. And we're going to go back. And now, this is one of those times where you'd think, okay, what sort of item do I need, right? So I went for the Morellonomicon to reduce healing. Nice ultimate from the Xayah. Getting a nice double stun. We're going to TP in. And then I went for a Banshee's Vow. Just to help with the... just the spell shield's great. So you can see that I took no damage from GP's barrels. Also, magic resist is great against the only threat on their team, which is the Echo. There's the flash ultimate. Fantastic double kill. Jinx had to use her flash as well to get away. So there's a great example of the flash ultimate play. Fantastic ultimate. So much fun. The amount of damage it does is absurd. So you use our E there to get a stack in, and then we W stun. He uses his Zhonya's. Team's following up now. Perfectly timed Nocturnal to eliminate the Echo, and we're going to look to push and end the game. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. A little bit of a longer one than normal. I think we had an okay game. 14, 2, and 12. Some fantastic examples of ultimates. Not the best game, but that's okay, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Hit the like button if you did. Remember to hit the subscribe button because next I think we got Kha'Zix, I believe. So back into the jungle again. So that'll be a bit of a fun episode. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, at the end of the day, it is nighttime. Take it easy.